What's up? It's your girl, Kris Kaylin, and I'm back in a new chapter of Princess Diaries. And the person that I'm interviewing, he wears many hats, branded hats, entrepreneur hats, coach hats, just a little bit of everything. And he does a lot for the city. So I'm super excited to be here with Dr. Justin JB Beaufort. How are you today?
I can't complain.
You tired, friend. You been in here. He walked in on the phone handling business. Phone going off right now. But I'm glad you were able to take the time to sit with me. And I just want to jump right into it. So like every Monday, your drop is Monday. I'm motivated, trying to do something great. I was trying to learn it. I hadn't have time. But like you started it and now I see you're featuring other people in it. And when I first saw you doing it, I was like, wait, he's saying the same thing. So like what's the inspiration behind it?
It first started because I have a book called Be Yourself that y'all need to buy off of Amazon too.
Right now.
Make sure that y'all buy that. Right? But anyway, got a book called Be Yourself. So when I had wrote it, the first year I did real good on the book. Mm-hmm. The second year,
right?
You know what I mean. So I was like, how can I like reinvent myself or like try to still get it out there? Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna start selling clothes because I won't buy Nike and all that stuff no more.
Right.
And no disrespect to Nike, I still like Willie D's. But at the same time, it was a situation where I was like, I gotta find somebody to wear the clothes.
Right.
You know what I mean? And everybody had called themselves a rapper when they've been younger. Mm-hmm. So I was like, okay, like I don't want to rap no more, but at the same time, I do still want to say something, but how can I do those at the same time? So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna try this, and then that's how that junk just, you know what I mean, starts. So I just wear my clothes every time, and then people inbox me like, how can I get that outfit?
Right.
You know what I mean? And it just started from there.
You got to be your own walking billboard. I definitely believe in that. Now, going back a little bit, so when I met you, this was when you had the alumni game at College of Charleston. Mm-hmm. So in the midst of that, like you said, you wrote a book, you got the High Star League, you have the Be Yourself Carnival. So what started first? I was like, I don't know what came first, the chicken or the egg. So like, what came first in everything that you do?
I would say the basketball portion came first. Like, you know what I mean? I just like grew up playing basketball like anybody else. And basically, I tried to utilize the fact that like I was known in the basketball community to figure out how I could do something. So I was in doctorate school at the time. So when I came home, I had to do a project or whatever and collect a lot of surveys. I had to do like 500 surveys or something like that. And I'm trying to walk to people's house.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I was like, how can I make everybody come to me?
Right.
So we ended up having a basketball game, Burke versus North Charleston, the first year.
Okay.
So like, you know what I mean? I was like, I know this gonna bring that out.
Right.
And, I just get the best players from both sides, like, you know what I mean, and put them together, and we ended up having a sold-out gym at North Charleston, and I was like, and then I remember I was walking down the court about something, and Brittany Whaley, mm-hmm. and my homeboy Ivan, like, Brittany tell me, like, hey, the girls playing in this next year. Mm-hmm. She just tell me that. And then Ivan was like, hey, Garrett and Stahl playing in this next year. And I was like,
the light bulb went off.
Okay, then that's when we gonna do this, you know what I mean? So that came like that. The book came a little bit later, because I started the alumni game in 2011, 12, mm-hmm. like 2012. And then the book came years later, when I've been inside school. So like in Colorado, you're real cool.
Right.
You know what I mean? So plenty of time to think. And just started writing the book. Then, like I said, the book did good. Keith Summy ended up getting the woof of it. I already was, you know what I mean, the president of a nonprofit organization at that time. And, you know, he decided to give me a day. And I think that was in like 2017. Like 2017, he gave me my day. So we just been doing the Be Yourself Carnival every year. since then, and I try to take that opportunity to recognize somebody inside the community who I feel do that. Because, like, it's kind of hard to do that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like, with so many things pulling at you, you know what I mean? It's kind of hard to do that. So people who do that, like, despite of, you know what I mean? Like, I try to recognize those people every year. Have my homeboy paint them a picture, as you know. Paint them a picture just to try to show some kind of appreciation to somebody else. Like, you know what I mean? That I think that you that type of way, you know.
And it's so I had an opportunity to be a recipient of the Be Yourself painting and award, and it was a really great experience. I actually have that when you walk in my house. That's the first thing you see. But like everything that you say, you just say it so casually. But like you got some. That's all. Everything that you're saying, I'm like you just like I got a day. You know, I got my doctorate. I wrote a book. You real chill about it, and that's why a lot of people don't know, and a lot of people do not know that you are a doctor. So like, what made you pursue just getting your doctorates? Because that's not an easy task, and you do a lot of things.
Well, it ain't something that like when I've been little I said, okay, this is what I'm gonna do when I grow up. Like it wasn't like that. It was like more so I was like every other kid wanted to like I'm gonna be in the NBA.
Right.
Blah blah blah. You know what I mean? But I think that like the opportunities that presented themselves at certain times was the reason why I made certain choices. So when I came out of Morris College, I went to South Carolina State, but at the same time to get my master's. So when at that time it's like I just had got in trouble a couple like not like a year and a half before that, like you know what I mean. So I didn't want to go back to Charleston right after I graduated. So I need to stay away from there. Let me go to Orangeburg. You know what I mean. I go into Orangeburg and I live up there for a little while, and you know what I mean. And it just was a situation where I graduated from there, but I was so locked in when I was going to state though. Like I had 4 classes, like, and I graduated in 3 semesters.
Oh wow!
So
dang,
I was like,
you ain't been playing.
Yeah, but so after the, you know what I mean. You know, at the end, around the end part, you getting the graduation stuff. It's starting to kind of hit me like, hey, you about to have to be finished with school up here, and you still, I ain't living in Orangeburg. Right. You know what I mean? So I'm like what you about to do? Like, you know what I mean? And I still felt like it was too close. It was still too close to my gun charge. Like, right. You know what I mean? So then I was like, I need to go. Like, you know what I mean? And I just decided to, like, hey, let me go to Colorado. And I kind of experienced that a little bit, you know what I mean? And
there's so many things you could have choose, but it's just like to go pursue your education. Like, and I feel like the fact that you work with a lot of younger Black men, it makes sense. So like, you know, you have your basketball league, and you know, even seeing this thing with Shador Sanders, like, super talented, but like, what do you tell athletes who you like? I mean, at the end of the day, you know the kids who got it and the ones who don't got it. So like, what do you tell them if just like, go to school. I make basketball a hobby. Like, how do you have that conversation? Because sometimes it's hard to break, you know, you don't want to break their spirit, but everybody ain't gonna make it.
Yeah, but I think that you need somebody inside your life to be realistic with
yeah.
You ain't no NBA player. Like, you know what I mean? And you might not be a college player.
Right.
And especially with all of these rules that they implementing is making it harder for high school players to go straight to college, straight out of high school and play right now. You know what I mean? So, like, I just encourage them just like, and this way, anything, not even just sports. Like, right. You just gotta hone in on that skill. Like, you just gotta hone in on that skill. You know what I mean? And when you hone into like a skill or you locked in on something, it's like something else is going to be is going to be affected. Like, right. You might can't hang with your friends as much as you used to, or you might can't do this over here. You might can't go out as much, but you know what I mean? Somebody got to do it in order for us to get there. Like, right. You know what I mean? So it's just that type of situation. You know what I mean? You just got to put in that work, and if you don't, you got to look back at it like and be real with yourself when you look in the mirror and say like, I didn't put it in the work. Right. When you compare it to somebody else, like a, you know, short example, a lot of these kids want to shoot the basketball like Stephen Curry, like. Just like how people go to work for 8 hours, like he do that for 8 hours a day.
Literally.
Like, y'all boy don't do that.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, so.
After you do the practice after school, and then that's it.
You good. You shoot like 10 little extra free throws. And then you go ahead.
I'm LeBron James.
Yeah.
But no, that's the thing. It's just like, even when someone was talking about the situation with Jess Hilarious at the Breakfast Club, and I was like, you are giving someone an opportunity who been in the gym, who been practicing, who been waiting on this moment. And it's like, here you are fresh to this. Yeah, you like in the starting number, but like you left for months, and when you were home, you weren't practicing. You wasn't doing them free throw shots. So it's just kind of like, if you don't consistently put in the effort, then the results that you're going to get is going to be piss poor. It's going to be sucky. So like, you're getting exactly what you put out. Definitely. So like, with your with the alumni game, it's changing just a little bit because now you're doing colleges.
Yeah, I do colleges.
So like, what is that experience like?
I know why y'all ain't tell me that earlier.
What do you mean? You got CIAA, all these like experiences.
But you know what I mean? Those are like CIAA and stuff like that. Those are for
current students. Right, you're right.
So like, but it's like with me starting the high school alumni game down here in 2012-ish, you know what I mean? It's like I didn't start the HBCU alumni game until this will be the 4th year.
Right.
Like, so like 2021. So from 2012 to 2021, I didn't think of it. Like, so I'm saying to myself the whole time, like, why you ain't been thinking of this? Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I don't know what took me so long, but yeah, we here now. Like, you know, I still do the one inside Charleston. I go to other cities now. Like, I do one for Orangeburg.
Right.
Like,
and you did Charlotte last year.
You know what I mean? Charlotte was for the HBCU.
Right.
HBCU.
Oh, the high school. Oh, bad.
Like OW.
Right. Oh, I know them things be huge.
Yeah. So this year we going to C.E. Murray, Hemingway, King Street. We doing those. We do. I also have one inside Myrtle Beach at Conway High School. All those schools out there. And some other cities on the calendar, but you know what I mean. But yeah, so this whole summer, like, we gonna just be hitting other people's cities with the alumni games.
So like, that's a job in itself. So you do that, but you also have the clothing line and the brand. So like, and you also have your own social media platform. So how do you like juggle all of this?
If my life been like a desk, it'll be messy. Like, yeah, it's like a, you know what I mean? I try. Like, I try.
You do, friend.
Some things do have a, like, you know, and some of the things I do are kind of like seasons.
Right.
So I don't got to worry about, like, the Be Yourself Carnival and stuff like that. And actually, like, to give credit to other people, like, you know what I mean? Like, my dog, I don't know if I call her my homegirl, my manager, or whatever, like, you know what I mean, Treese, like, you know what I mean, she does a lot of this stuff to allow me to focus on basketball.
Right.
You know what I mean? So she the one who doing the organizing behind the scenes and just telling me, like, yo, this is what we about to do, you know what I mean, in order to make the plan work, you know, and she just let me focus on what I want to focus on.
But you gotta have the team, you gotta have the support. And I recently saw that you did a photo shoot with other designers in Charleston. So one, I was really happy to see that because I feel like we have some really, really amazing brands down here. We got the Be Yourself stuff, yeah, get into it. But like, who you came up with that, or like, just what was the thought process behind it?
Okay, so just like how you were saying, I'm just on some like I think I just like know pockets of people, and I might know you from any part of your life. You know what I mean? So however you know me is however you know me, and I know some of those guys from different aspects of my life. You know what I mean? So when I reached out, I was like, okay, I want to have an event where I have several clothing designers, because I told them this at the photo shoot, like, you know what I mean, in a positive manner. I'm jealous of y'all, like, you know what I mean, because like y'all do a great job at what y'all doing, and I can't do it, like I said, because my desk messy,
right?
And I look at them and I'm like, you know what I mean, like I want to learn things from y'all, like, you know, and it just was a situation where I called everybody, I hit everybody up, and it was like, I'm down, like like, why we in?
Did this along, right? And I know you said like even looking at the other brands, but I feel like each of the brands I saw in the picture, y'all have your own way to market, and I feel like it works. Like it works. So I don't just got an idea, but yeah. So like, with the brand, the clothing, and all of this, and you are a girl dad. So how has having a daughter, because you do all these boyish, manly things, but how has having a daughter changed you and softened you up a little bit? Has it softened you up?
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean?
First of all, y'all, she runs the game. I know he said he the boss, but she run the game.
Definitely. You know what I mean? Like, man, like, I love having a daughter. I wanted a son. You know
all men say that, and
you know
right.
I thinking selfishly, I want to have a son, and but since I couldn't go to the NBA, I'm gonna make him an NBA player. That's what I'm thinking. But you know what I mean? Having a daughter, like it just makes you pay attention to certain things. It teaches you to change some behaviors that you may have had. Teach you how to talk to somebody. Like you really pay attention how to talk to somebody, and just the process of going over things that on a fundamental level that you know very technically, but learning things on the fundamental level again. That's always cool, and I just always I just love to see her have fun all the time.
That's awesome. Yeah. You learn you are like reteaching yourself again when you're dealing with like little kids, little tiny people. It's just like, oh wow, seeing it from their eyes. So with the Be Yourself Carnival that is coming up, this is an annual thing. What, like, you just have so many things going on. You got so much support. Like, what can people expect from the Be Yourself Carnival?
The Be Yourself Carnival is June 28th. It's every year. It's the fourth Saturday inside June. It's at Park Circle. That's where we always had it at until they did the reconstruction, and we back now, being that the construction is finished, and you can expect like 1,000 kids,
a bunch of names out there.
You know what I mean? Several local vendors. The way that we wanted to have it set up, we wanted to be kind of like user friendly or customer friendly, like a market type of style, but at the same time, several activities that the kids can participate in as well. Music, a lot of community type of vendors as well that provides information that will benefit our community.
Resources, we need the resources.
And just a lot of fun. Water balloon throwing, pies getting smashed in people's face.
Y'all got the dunk booth, right?
Yeah.
Who in the dunk booth?
I know. You getting them?
I'll get in a dunk booth.
Okay.
I'll get in a dunk booth. I was like, I can't swim, but I'll get in a dunk booth.
We'll make sure the water ain't down.
I will do it for the charity. You heard it here first. All right. So, like, with High Star Hoops, with Be Yourself, the brand, like, where do you see yourself at in 5 years?
5 years. Well, the goal, the overall goal, like, is to have my own facility, my own gym.
I definitely see that.
With multiple basketball courts in it, and a few other things, in it as well. That would just make sense for the common man or common woman. Just having a facility with all of those things inside of it is the goal, and I don't think that it should take us 5 years.
I don't think so either.
You know what I mean? To get there, though.
We see it very soon. All right, if you had to do your Mount Rushmore of your top NBA players, who's on your Mount Rushmore? In no particular order.
It's, and some people still writing their story. You know what I mean? So I ain't talking about y'all, boy. If y'all want to sponsor my, I'm not talking bad about you. You just still writing your story. But you know what I mean? MJ is my favorite just because of the killer mentality. Yeah, people got better stats than him and stuff like that, but just the killer mentality, like, and I think that's what like at the core of basketball, that's what people like somebody who can rip your heart out, and they don't care about, like, if you're real good and you're the greatest from what them boys say, like this guy right here, he's still like
he's still good,
and he wants to play you and guard you and all of that. Like that's why Jordan is number one. LeBron, you gotta put him on there, man.
Of course,
he just did a lot or whatever. That's a tough question.
Wait, because I got another one coming after this. So
I would say LeBron, MJ. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Even though I'm around to see him play, I just see the little Hardwood Classic type of thing.
I was watching a thing on HBO Max. I was just like, okay, the thing with the Lakers.
Oh yeah,
that was really.
Yeah.
I forgot what it was called, but that was good.
They
didn't give them a season 2. I don't know why.
He was the all-time leading scorer before LeBron passed him. Like so like, and he developed that jumper. I like Steph though. I know. Like,
okay, so you got 4. You got one more.
Yeah. I like Steph and if I gotta say somebody just so we can get to the next question, I say like Tim Duncan. I say like Tim Duncan because like everybody ain't athletic,
right?
You know what I mean? Everybody don't jump high. Everybody ain't super strong, and I think that he serves a purpose because he's one of those people who just like, okay, I still got 5 championships, and I was the guy with 5 championship teams, and I didn't jump high. I didn't do anything spectacular.
No, and he was there. Like, no, it's funny you say that because I was like, okay, I know all these players that you listing because like now I'm like the only person I know is like John Moran and like Ant-Man. I don't know none of them niggas.
They stole right in for sure.
Like I was like, I don't know none of these people. Okay, well now that WNBA is becoming like talked about in the mainstream, give me your Mount Rushmore women's basketball players.
You know what I mean? Okay.
You got 5.
I know I got 5. I know women's basketball. Diana Taurasi, I like her. She was nice. She was nice. Maya Moore.
Okay.
Lisa Leslie. You gotta say Cheryl Swoops.
Okay.
And this one might be biased because she probably wasn't like the biggest stat person or whatever, but she coaching for South Carolina. I gotta go with Dawn Staley. Yeah.
Okay. Go Cox. That's the first and last time you ever hear me say Go Cox. I'm gonna throw another one in because all them stand on the shoulders of my mama. Period.
Oh yeah. Of course. I thought we were talking about. I was just going through that one in regardless. But yeah, no. So like, even with that, okay. I have one more question. So with what's her face, Fawali transferring to LSU, are you shocked? I ain't gonna say shocked. You know what I mean?
Because I wasn't shocked either.
Yeah, like to be real, I don't even be caring. Like I just want, okay, if that's the decision that you make, I want to see y'all play each other now. Like, but, you know what I mean? It's like, but for her personally, you know what I mean? Like sometimes people got to make personal decisions. Now, what they bringing in the girl from Florida State, like she understands that she probably would have been have to share a little bit, share play time in her junior season,
right?
And she probably didn't want to do that, like So I totally understand. Like,
but I just think it was crazy that like in that last game, like she was the only person who was really making shots, and she kept getting benched. I don't know. I just feel like also with women, it's always a dynamic of like. You know how women are. So I don't know, but I wasn't shocked when she made that move though. I wasn't when I saw that. I was just like, well, and I don't even be bad. Like I was like,
and that bag might have been over there too. Like
the NIL. Okay, so like that even matters. With that, okay, because State lost a lot of players in the transfer portal. So like, how do you feel like NIL has changed the college game? Because I mean, people trying because Flugé, she not pressed to go to the WNBA. Like, so do you think that is going to affect like the NBA drafts like upcoming in the future?
It will. There's several ways that it could affect it, but what I would say, what I do like about it, is that it gives the opportunity for kids who ain't gonna go to the NBA
to make money,
to get an M before them. You know what I mean? Like, if I gonna go into this working world, and I've been real good at something, and I done put a lot of hours in it. Just because I've been a 4-year-old putting in the work, like, you know what I mean? You can still and up to 18, 19, you can still pay me for that. Like,
Right.
I put in the hours, hear the money for it. So if a kid is going to go to school for 4 years, get an M every year for going to school or whatever, and then he can go into the working world and probably start a business or change, like, you know what I mean? And I ain't even talking about black kids.
Right.
I'm talking about anybody, wherever you is.
With the opportunity.
You know what I mean? The opportunity, you putting money inside people's hands who, and I feel like basketball is a sport that is driven off of circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
Like, a lot of the people who in the league and stuff like that, them boys come from poor.
Come from nothing.
Yeah, like,
yeah.
so, like, this is all we had did around there, and this is what I had did in order to get me to the next level. So, like, pay me for it. And if I only make it to college, if I can get an M out of the situation, like, yeah, do that. That's way more than what my family had before.
That makes so much sense. It's like, and then I feel like a lot of HBCs are kind of behind on the NIL thing, and I feel like a lot of the talent pool is going to go to these places who can pay them. So it's just like everybody got to get together.
Like,
yeah,
that's why I say it's going to hurt. Several ways HBCUs are going to. So if you ain't got no famous person who had come out your
or coaching,
then it's going to be difficult for you to get some people. It's going to be difficult for you to compete.
Yeah, you got to be able, like, if this school's offering me millions and you're offering me tuition, hold them. What are we talking about? But, like, even with that, like, okay, I was on TikTok and there was this one lady. She was like, that's why Shador didn't get picked until, like, the 7th round pick, because he comes from a family with money. But I don't think that was it, because, I mean, doing my research, but it was like, you know, he wasn't showing up to Combine and, like, the interviews. It was just like, he was like, y'all should be happy that I'm here. So, I mean, granted, I don't know what on behind scenes, but, like, I feel like a part of that may be true, but it's just like, if you're talented, you're talented. But attitude goes a long way as far as people want to deal with you.
Yes, definitely.
So, yeah. But, so, how can the people, my last question. What's on your playlist right now? What are you listening to?
I like Kevin Gates. Like, you know
okay.
What I mean? So,
Kevin Gates be losing. First of all, Kevin Gates came for LeBron James. I don't know what that was about.
Yeah, like I don't get into that kind of stuff. Like, sometimes, like, for somebody on social media, I'd be lost about a lot of stuff.
Don't be knowing. It's like, I'm just here to post and go.
Yeah, like, I don't be knowing sometimes. Like, I find that out on the back end a couple of days later. Like, but Kevin Gates, I always listen to local music. You know,
what are you listening to right now?
Locally? Locally, I still listen to, like, the
old Charleston.
The old Charleston. Of course, I listen to the new music as well. Like, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? Lou just dropped a new thing or whatever. You know what I mean? I add
about 3 of them to my playlist.
And I listen to that. Boss Music, been listening to that. VT, been listening to that. Lofo, I listen to that. I still listen to, like, Mr. Taylor. You know what I mean? So, and Molly Mall.
Right. But that's the thing, is like, when you got a classic, like, it's just gonna go up at any time.
Yeah, but I bump Gates a lot. Now, I just got on 2 other guys because of my homeboy, Woodboy G.
Okay, I don't know who that is. I gotta look him up.
Woodboy G and this other dude, Montana 700.
I did hear him.
Yeah, so, you know what I mean? And what I done heard so far from them is pretty good.
Okay, you outside. But how can the people connect with you? How can they find you, shop the brand, all that good stuff?
You know what I mean? Just my personal page on Instagram, TikTok, and IG is at HighStarENT. Spell the right way, HighStarENT. My clothing brand Instagram is Be Yourself the Brand. And yeah, man, you can just hit me up one of those ways on social media, and Teresa respond. Tree's gonna get you right.
I just want to know when I can come on and do the because I saw Lay Willis doing it. I'm like, dang, now he bringing features on. I too like, let me send me that stuff so I can learn it. When can we come on? When are you bringing on features so we can do the thing?
Actually, I did a couple of features before her, but then like I just like, you know what, I'm gonna go get. I used to really reach out to people, like, you know what I mean. I really used to reach out to people, and it used to. I just used to think that, like, you know what I mean, they probably wouldn't want to do this, like, you know.
You know, it's funny because I feel like, you know, when you look at people, you be like, of course people, you do your stuff, but even when I like reach out to people to do my podcast, like when they respond back, I be like, I hope they respond back, and then I be like, I hope they come on, and then when I just be like very happy and very giddy because like people be like, why wouldn't? But I'm like, I don't know. In my mind, I don't know. Maybe it's imposter syndrome.
Oh yeah. I just, you know what I mean. So I'll make jokes like, hey, like if somebody will say something to me, like, you know what I mean, when they see me, they be like, it's Monday, like this, that, and the third. I be like, when you coming on? When you coming on? And they be like, shit, you tell me, like, you know what I mean? I'm like, all right, now you for real? Like, all right.
And two things you forget. It was not a long time ago, but JB had a podcast and I won the game. They never gave me my prize.
What
it was this finish the lyrics. I don't know what the prize was supposed. You never told me what the prize was.
Okay, Ivan, we need to figure out what Kris prize.
Yes, and it's been about 2-3 years delay. So I hope it's interest put on it. And secondly, you probably don't remember this, but when it wasn't your first one, but this is when I came back from school and I was reaching out. I was just like, you know, if you need like a host or anything, and you told me send me your resume. He told me to send me my resume. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. Don't make me go back on Facebook. I don't know if I hit you up on Facebook or Instagram.
It was me texting that.
I reached out to you, JB Beaufort.
No. This is what I'm saying. No, I understand what you're saying. But
I'm getting messy. Yes, yes, you did. I was just I said I just graduated college. I used to host stuff at school. You know, if you need a host, you were just like, send me your resume. You got very deep with me, friend, but it's okay. We made it past that.
Hey, yeah, we definitely made it past that. You know what I mean? But, hey, like, I don't talk like that. That's why.
Well, I don't know, but you was just like along the lines of like, send me your resume, send me some stuff. I was just like, okay. You get Hollywood with me, but that's okay. Now we're here.
That is funny.
Oh gosh, I love that. All right, it's your girl Kris Kaylin. Thank you for tuning into another chapter. Thank you for tuning into another chapter of Princess Diaries. Make sure you're getting connected with me on socials, Instagram and Facebook, Kris Kaylin, X and TikTok, _Kris Kaylin. And if you want to book your podcast session, make sure you're doing it right here at Link Studios. Thank you so much for taking the time to sit with me.
How are we gonna talk about this? Hey.